Because some unwanted background sounds are being reported in my tapes again, I want to advise the listener or reader that usually Substack provides subtitles. Sometimes you have to click the CC button that's located in the parameter. If that didn't happen, you can check my YouTube channel for duplicates of these tapes because Substack often puts a duplicate into YouTube automatically, and they usually have CC. Or if you're using an iPhone, you can use an application that provides the text. I want to say that Ibrahim Traore, whose t-shirt I am wearing, has never seen, endorsed, objected to, or shown in any way any understanding, awareness, remorse, approval, or in any way associated with my views. I'm elderly, he's young, he had nothing to do with any of this. What I'm leaving with this tape are instructions to be helpful. As many people know, McCartney is leading an assassination program directed at me. He lied about me and has long advocated for the view that I was somehow to blame for what they claim is the murder of his partner past. His real partner is Adolf Hitler. They know that I investigated them. His assassination program is criminally insane. I was brutally kidnapped as a child, and I have reason to believe that the government was behind it. Team genocide, you could call them, which is what America wants to be known by internationally and globally now. They probably put "we were team genocide" as a stamp on NASA robots sent into space. They want to be known as team genocide to the entire universe. I have reason to believe the government tortured me. Reason to believe it. I didn't hallucinate it, but suppose I did, as they claim. Did they go about it the right way? I was 9, 10 years old when I was attacked, degraded, tortured. Did they go about it the right way to blame me, frame me for idiotic, absurd theater, guerrilla theater, gaslighting, charades? Of course they didn't. What they are monomaniacal exploiters on a hell-bent on a poach. That said, most of the people who've seen my work realize that my first volume is established, nearly complete, certainly persuasive, that there's a pattern showing Reagan's hand of involvement in the murder of JFK. That's done. There's nothing that can be done to undo that. So McCartney is in a spaz attack. The second volume needs to be done. It's going to be very difficult for me or anyone else. Starting with the script by Gail Burstyn. Move into the circumstances that show that there was a Fight Club war game worked out at Pitt News with the help of Seattle, Washington, and the city people who kidnapped and tortured me. A war game over freedom of romance, to create the Marshall character idea that it was me not taking responsibility for myself that led to rejection by the symbolic Midori Goto of Team Genocide. So you start with the script, go to the Pitt News archives, and then show the script has a pattern that goes into a mirror system. The way that the murder of JFK is mirrored in films like Cruel Gun Story and The Killers. Goes into a mirror system throughout the film Diva. That this Two Virgins Pussy Ball word game is in a mirror system between Diva. The Telltale clip and Diva need to be cross-referenced and compared in media visually for their semiotic similarities. Back to the situation at Pit News, cross-referencing the script with Diva, the script with Telltale script, the script with Pit News with Telltale clip, Pit News with Diva, Diva with Telltale clip, Diva with Pit News, and Diva with the script, Telltale clip with all of them. It needs to be a honest appraisal of the syncopated ulterior elements of semiotic superproduction that have linguistically been traced back to Fayum intelligence and New Age people like Wyspansky, who influenced King Crimson and so on, so that it becomes clear that the total script, the totality, if you can bear the word, of this fourth dimensional dictatorial idea from Team Genocide shows that there's no way they left it to just random chance that John Lennon would be where they needed him to be. They worked on it for 100 years. He was giving a starring role. So this is instructions on how to deal with theme 2. There's 3 themes. The third is the way that they use Casper to promote, to advertise that both Lenin and Hitler were Houdini'd. They were escaped. They were beamed up. They faked their deaths so that they could say that Jesus was more powerful than Hitler, and he was redeemed by Casper, the friendly ghost, the spiritual continuer of Lenin, whose band, after all, was named by Hitler after the VW. So that's my purpose, is to show what needs yet to be done in Semiotic 2. You need to look at, there's other elements that can be brought in because it's pernicious. It's not just in Diva. It's not just in the Telltale clip. But by showing a minimum standard of international hidden structure, hidden super story going on behind the scenes in these movies, you can begin to notice it when you see that they are doing it systemic. I don't like that word, systematically, whatever, consistently throughout. I found it in French, I found it in Japanese, I found it in Israeli, I found it in American English. It was originally my first doubts, my first concerns, suspicions were from a German film, The Enemy is Among Us. So if, McCartney and the Brass, Team Genocide, gets into my stuff and having a debate of whether they can use Christian theological sentiment to evict me over having a notebook of genuinely attractive Japanese women showing their intimacies as adult erotic art, which they call pornography, which is a suspicious system of enterprise on one level. They are institutionally. I mean, the women may just be homegirls. I haven't identified all of these people. I don't know who they are. I'm certainly not out. Women have to take some responsibility for this. Team Genocide is demanding that women conform to, you may choose only one man giving your virginity to him, you become his property. And it's one man, one woman, established order internationally. Praise chastity and the theological Zionists who cleared the earth of the excess population of children so that Team Genocide could have their trophy queens treated to parochial people. When I can't do that for the idiotic people who supported this Nazism. People like Hillary Clinton are behind it. They may have done it as a joke, as a laugh-a-thon, as an accompaniment, as an orchestration, as therapy, as McCartney would have it, to their dastardly genocidal AIDS attack. They may have never meant to be taken. They may sit there in self disbelief that people went along with it the way they did. But they did have, after all, a sale for it. They said John Lennon died because a deaf kid didn't understand that Paul McCartney is the walrus. And people said, woohoo! Woohoo! We want to be on Team Genocide. That's where the Beatles are. Woohoo!